Hello, hobby. Welcome. ZiggyNo here. Heartbeat of the hobby. The hobby sky is falling. I don't know if you guys are paying attention. I know one guy, no, I'm sorry, three guys spent $13 million on a card, but the rest of the hobby is just going to fall apart. Well, at least that's what Chicken Little said, right? The sky is falling. This video, trying to think how I want to position this. First of all, I'm a fan of hobby content. I really do. I watch too much hobby content. In fact, I think I'm going to take a break from hobby content. I think I'm addicted to hobby content. I'm having withdrawal. I really enjoy Neo's content. He's been on fire lately. I mean, he puts out a video almost every day now. Um, but he also continues to put out these doom and gloom, oh my God, end of the freaking world videos about football, specifically football cards, all crashing and the world's coming to an end. And then my favorite doom and gloomer, Dr. Doom himself, Professor Dr. Doom, sports card. Professor Sports Card. Again, big fan of his content as well. Following him for a long time. He's had a recent rise. I want to say like Sports Card Radio mentioned him, and he took off. And since then, I will say this, dude, you are not Sports Card Radio. I'm just gonna say that. But both these guys are telling you in their recent content that the hobby's falling apart. That it's all doom and gloom. That everything everybody's telling you is lies. In fact, last night I was listening to Professor Sports Card. I encourage you to listen to his 2-hour video at 2x just so you get through it in an hour and 15 minutes. But it's just doom and gloom. First of all, it's crazy. Like I think like 56 minutes into the video, he's shouting and screaming about Jeff Wilson shouting and screaming. And then he's also claiming that he'll debate anybody because he's a great debater and he's gonna do he's really good at these interviews because he had Gio on and he had Chris Sewell on a show. Now he's an expert. And again, I really enjoy his content, but I'll say this: he also cut the hell out of both those interviews. Like he cut the beginning of the Sewell one, and he cuts the heck out of the Gio one. Just have the conversation. He sits there actually in his video and says, "People want to listen to conversations," but then he cuts the hell out of the conversations. Man, think about that. I will say again, Professor Sports Card. I'm not trying to upset you. Okay, I'm sorry, Chicken Little. I'm not trying to upset you, but go listen to your video, dude. Seriously, go listen to your video. You could laugh at it, or you could cry. The other thing he did last night, I just found tasteless, right? And again, it's a 2.5-hour video, so I don't think many people saw this, and I'm almost embarrassed to call attention to it, but I think maybe sometimes we need to. But he's making fun of Kayla Collects because she got Schwarber's autograph at a baseball game. What's wrong with that? In fact, Schwarber hit 4 home runs yesterday. I was thinking, what great timing, Kayla. I freaking dig Kayla's content, okay? Woman getting other women into the hobby. I can't even believe he went there. And then he was also taking shots. I think it was Mamba Breaks and Mama Breaks. And he's just so negative, man. Hobby's awful. Hobby's awful. Open to debates, too. Says he's open to debates, but doesn't want to debate anybody. I don't know why all this negativity. I guess his big argument is that all cards are going to go down. In fact, one comment he made last night, and again, I know people watch this video like, Ziggy, what's your, turn this into something positive. I want him to come up with solutions. I want him to offer ways we can improve the hobby, right? Don't just complain about the hobby, man. What is wrong with it? So if it's the breaker and distribution, what can we do to fix that, right? What can we do to improve upon that? How can we make this more accessible to collectors? I got tons of ideas, tons. I'm not going to sit here and go through them, but why is it all doom and gloom and everything, man? Neo, I love his videos. I love his videos. I made a comment in his videos. He talks about how people get slaughtered in football cards. And I will say, I've been following football cards for years. And what I realized, right, I remember when I got in cards, somebody even told me, like one of the dealers at a card show told me, look, football cards have the highest volatility because of there's so many people involved in them. But that high volatility is what makes them so attractive. Like they really are like fantasy football. Week to week performance, player does really well, cards go up. Like a card value back even like in 2018 could change week to week based on performance. But in the offseason, his comment was people lose attention. They don't know what's going on. Players change teams. That impacts stuff. And careers are short. None of that has changed. None of those facts have changed. What's happened is, I think in 2020, we had a very uneducated audience who came into it, including the people making content, because none of them in 2020 or 2021 made content saying, hey, guys, here are the warnings. Here's the lessons I've learned from football in the past. None of them. Everybody said, yeah, they're all going to the moon. Like nobody came out and stopped somebody and made comments that it was negative when that dude bought, who was it? The quarterback. Neo was just talking about this today. The quarterback for the Patriots. Oh, damn it. Not Dre, not Drake May. Anyway, I can see his face. The kid pulled a $100,000 card. Like no one was coming out going, "Oh, that's a really bad idea." Look, historically, those cards do not do well. I didn't see anybody post a single video on that. You know why? Because it was like, "I'm gonna get mine." What's up, Mac Jones, ERB Sports? That's exactly right. Like, and here's the secret. Here's the truth, guys. I've said this over and over, and those people who've been in the hobby know this. Every year, there's a new chase rookie. In fact, if there's not a good rookie in the rookie class, the hobby will make one of them believable that he's a good rookie. Like they'll just, well, this is going to be the next guy. Even in the worst rookie classes, you're going to pick somebody. He's going to be the best guy. People are going to go after him. There's cards are going to go for a lot of value, and his performance is likely going to decline over time. Does that stop this? No. In fact, what people have learned now is just to do the same thing. Okay, chase the hot rookie, sell the hot rookie. Oh, look, he got cut. Sell the hot rookie again. Oh, he got picked up by a different team. Buy the rookie who was a hot rookie 2 years ago because he's a first-round draft pick. Oh, sell him because he's not doing well. That happens over and over. In fact, I think that's one of the biggest differences about the modern hobby is that, and I don't think vintage gets this, is that a modern rated rookie, shiny silver prism, tops chrome refractor will transact multiple times before it finds that collector. Multiple times, right? I would say 10 times on average. It's probably being aggressive. Let's say 5. Where a vintage card, the velocity on vintage cards is like tar. Like who's buying a vintage card and like flipping it, in the same year, right? Unless that vintage guy dies, it just doesn't happen often, right? And that's fine. That's just two different ways to approach things, right? It's like T-bills or I'm buying, internet stocks. So, but we all understand, hey, when you buy internet stocks, hey, this one has negative PE. It's not doing very well. Oh, but it's a target for a buyout? Heck yeah, I'm buying more. I know it doesn't make logical sense. I'm buying on fear of missing out. They could get acquired. I could make a lot of money. It's the same thing with the hobby. Like, why are you coming in and being so negative? Oh, everybody's getting slaughtered. Every year, dreams are crushed. This is a dream crusher hobby. No, it's not. No, it's not. In fact, if anything, this hobby makes more dreams come true than I want to think almost any other hobby does. And its accessibility is freaking unbelievable. Like, think about this. You want to make money in gold and diamonds? Great. Get in the gold and diamond business. What's the barrier of entry for that? You want to make money in real estate? Great. Go buy a house or two. What's the barrier of entry for that? But if you are if you're young kids, hustle, old people, hustle, young people, it doesn't make a difference what age you are. Hustle in sports cards, you can make money. And you make money every year. Doing the same thing, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Like it's the easiest hustle in the world. Yet, I love to hear this. What was it last night? Again, Chicken Little upset because what are these kids doing running around with these boxes with more money in these cards than I had? What am I doing wrong? Honestly, what you're doing wrong? That was a clip, by the way, from one of the Chicken Little's videos. He took a clip from this guy saying, I don't understand. On my first car, I had to start with a screwdriver, and these kids are running around with $12,000 in their case. Okay, great. So you sound jealous and envious. Okay, maybe the kids had a different start in life. Maybe their parents were able to give them more than you had, but maybe not. Maybe the kid, was on welfare and he busted his butt flipping cards at this trade at this flea market. Who do you know to judge these people? Like it just drives me crazy. Why are we so negative? Why aren't we applauding this more? Why aren't we proud? Like, I'll tell you one thing. My kids drive me freaking crazy in the sense that none of them are as invested in the hobby as I think they should be because they could all make money. I'm like, dude, you see these kids online. Why can't any of you guys have a design case with $12,000 in cards in it? You got the means. You got the knowledge. Cards are all around here. Go hustle. But no. They just want their Roblox money. Or gas money or whatever there might be. So I'm just saying, guys, I don't. It's interesting content. The doom and gloom, Chicken Little, the world is falling. I will say this too. Here's my last kind of segue comments on this is that it's not going to change. You know why? Because people like it. I like to listen to it. I laugh at it. I laugh at it because now I feel like I'm like the Matrix. It's like listen to people complain about a first world problem, and then I just giggle. Oh, it really upsets me is when I grade a card and I know it's a 10 and it comes back an 8. I mean, an 8, it could be a 9, but why the hell? Okay, dude, first word problem. I'm laughing. I'm giggling. Like, move on. It's magic. Also, no one wants to provide solutions. No one wants to offer a solution to any of these problems out there, right? No one wants to say, hey, for example, the one I was thinking about the other day is that I was listening to debating everybody in the goddamn comments. Oh, breakers are ruining it for collectors. Breakers are ruining it for collectors. Please explain that to me. Please explain that to me. You're telling me collectors were saving up their allowance money so they could buy hobby boxes because they are chasing one of ones, low numbered refractors, RPAs, right? Because that's what collectors do. Collectors chase high value, and like just you and me, collector, we're just chasing those high value numbers. Because reality is, breakers rip through those products with their only interest is in those hit cards, and they don't really care much about all the collectible cards, right? All the base cards, all the parallels that aren't numbered, right? The shinies normally fall to the bottom, right? That's stuff they don't care about. They'll sell that in bulk, right? They sell it at dollars on the discount, right? If you want to buy from somebody, go watch Chasing Cardboard. The guy goes in the room, the guys go, "How do you get your cards?" Well, I was in breaks. Yeah, you got tons of cards because you're in breaks. And what are you doing with them? You just want to get rid of them and get them to the collector. Great. You're a Redskin fan. Here's a bunch of Redskin cards, right? You're a Dodgers fan. I got a whole bunch. I was in a bunch of Dodger breaks. You want some Dodger cards? Like, don't give me the breaker is hurting for the collectors. Are a lazy collector. If honestly, if you're a collector out there and you want to blame breakers for making your collector experience negative, you're lazy. Go make a friend with a breaker or a guy buying into breaks, right? Because they have access to tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of cards that you want, right? Because you collect those cards. But you probably are going to tell me, well, that's not really the reality is. What it really is, here's the truth, guys. Here's what the truth is. I just feel like just bitching right now. The truth is that son of a bitch can't afford to buy the box anymore. And he's mad because he wanted to hit that one of one. He's a gambler too. He's chasing some short printed rookie card, right? He wants to flip the card for money, but he can't get it. The breaker got it. He's mad now. Damn, breaker got it. He's ruining it for the collectors. Really? Again, everybody who says that, I just look to myself and go, okay, I know who you are. In fact, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to upset you. Well, no, I don't really care to upset you. Are you really a collector? I mean, really a collector. If you're complaining about guys opening products on camera so that the whole world can see them, making them accessible, because these people open them, they just want them. They're so greedy with them that they're just not going to share them with the world. The hypocrisy in these comments is crazy. It really is. It really is. Which I think is why I need to take a break from content. I think what I watch on content on YouTube specifically, maybe in the world in general. And also, here's another thing I just was figuring out yesterday. Some people are really, really into content. Like I do watch Netflix. I do watch the news. I watch sports. Like I listen to a lot of content because I do a lot of driving for work. So I'm in the car listening to YouTube. They all talk about regulation. Regulation's coming. Regulation's coming. I guess my point this is they just want to talk. They really don't offer any solutions. Because if you really want a regulation, then go do something about it. Instead of getting your buddy on the live next time to complain about the price of wax, why don't you contact your state legislator and get him on a YouTube channel? And why don't you explain to him? Seriously, this would be a freaking great video. I would love anybody to do this. Reach out to a state or local legislator that you personally feel concerned about the dangers of gambling in the hobby and have that conversation with them. I want you to be, please, God, this would be freaking, you want real good content? I think this would be great. Seriously, go contact your county legislator. I don't care. Just as long as he or she is elected, and bring them in to say, I'm concerned about, and tell me what it is. Hobbies gambling. So if you're going to expand on that, then you're concerned the hobbies become gambling and what children are exposed to that. Any way you go, pull the fucking thread. You want to talk about regulation, but none of you can. I mean, you guys don't even research much, right? You sit there. In fact, your research is watching other people's video and judging them. These can't be real videos. These can't be real videos. I wanted to make a video. I was thinking about this the other day. I would like AI to make a video of a big screen of like a bunch of idiots, and I mean that nicely, watching a bunch of idiots going, these can't be real views. These can't be real views. These can't be. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's a circle. It's a cycle. Really? You can't believe the people are watching. I believe they're watching. Also, remember, it's called the world. You know, it's not like just in your little neighborhood. I think it's another thing too. We have such these closed-minded opinion of the world. One thing I've realized, for example, my God, the hobby is huge. I was listening to and I'm just continuing on here. I'm listening to really good content. I think it's called the Card Boss. I forget the name of his channel. He rebranded the channel, but look for the Card Boss 2021. A guy out of I don't even know the country because I'm not very good. I think the Philippines. He puts his flag up, and I'm American. I can't. I'm not good with flags. He's in the Philippines or somewhere in Asia, Australia area, and he interviews and has conversations with that community out there. And all I'll say is again, Americans, you just fucking whine all the time. Really whine all the time. Man, they're making it hard on us collectors. Oh, we can't get to any product. Dude, there's tons of retail products sitting in the stores right now. Nobody wants that. You know why they don't want it? There's nothing of value in it. Call it what it is. It's like going to the poker table and being, man, there's no $5 hands. You guys are only paying for $25? Damn it. Breakers made the price of blackjack go up. Oh, man. So I just close. Have a solution. I got lots of. Let me tell you too. I keep saying last thing, but and I should probably do a separate video on this. No one wants the solutions. I've offered solutions. I've talked to people about solutions. They don't want solutions. They don't. People kind of really like. Someone asked me the other day, why is the hobby not embracing change faster? Because I don't think the hobby wants change. I think the hobby's fine the way things are. Hobby's working fine. Everybody's doing really well. The hobby's making money. I'll tell you what, man. I'm excited. Fanatics. I'm excited. Love them or hate them, dude. They're getting the licensing. They're coming out with a ton of product between now and the end of the year. And going in 2026, when they get that football license, I mean, here's what I'm thinking to myself. Okay, it's going to be weird for football in the next 6 months. It's going to be Panini, and Panini's going to be spitting out everything. In fact, Panini's doing an Eminence product, which is going to be all NBA, which is going to be pretty interesting. I mean, Panini's just going to be throwing up some stuff, man. And I'll tell you this too. There's a lot of opportunity there. Is it going to be worth money 20 or 30 years from now? I don't know. I'm going to guess no. Is it going to be money in the next 3 to 12 months? Absolutely. A lot of money is going to be made in the next 3 to 12 months. A lot of money in the next 3 to 12 months. I mean, I'll put it this way. If you have money, just cash on hand. You could just sit here flipping Panini products between now and the next 12 months. Don't open any of it. Just freaking flip it. Just buy it. Get in those Dutch auctions. Buy what you can. Hold a little time, flip it, because there's so much interest and velocity. There's going to be no football products coming out from Topps, or from what I understand, limited. So it's going to be Panini's going to be deep in football. They've only got a few more weeks of basketball, so they're going to be balls deep in basketball until October. And they're going to drop, like I said, some cool products. I'm wondering the line on that. Do they have to get the products out by October 1, or do you have to announce them by October 1? I don't know. But again, I'm super bullish. Also, looking into next year, into the summer. Okay, coming this summer, we're going to know Fanatics Fest. Fanatics Fest is in June. If it's going before the National, I think that'd be kind of cool. But that's going to be big. I mean, that's going to be a huge event. You're talking about Fanatics Fest, like you had last year. You probably have a women's division and a men's division, maybe a kids division competing. You have all 3 sports there. You know, football players there. You know, basketball players more present. I think. Again, and I'll just say this too, to one of my favorite comments last night. So vintage is going to be worth nothing in the future. What's that say about modern cards? These correlations, these judgments we make, it says very little. Okay, I don't know what it says. I can tell you this: cards today are going to be worth a lot of money today. Today, like you can make a lot of money off cards that are being made right now. Like they have a board in Fanatics. I'm imagining it's a big whiteboard, and it's got up there the debut NFL patches, the debut NBA patches, debut baseball patches, and they got next year's class. It's gonna be crazy, right? And they got all these stuff up there, and all I see is $1 million chase cards all across the board. That's all I see. Ooh, Carolina Collectors here, man. Hey Ziggy. Hey Brendan. What's up, Brian? Good to see you guys. Try to convince Topps or Panini to get rid of retail. Why? Why would they get rid of retail? They like retail. Like I love retail. In fact, retail, again, it's a balance. Everybody complaining that breakers are ruining everything. There's plenty of retail sitting on the. See, here's the thing I'll say about breakers. Breakers are the barometer of the hobby. If breakers aren't breaking retail, there must not be a lot of value in the retail, right? And then what happens? The market reacts to that. Then it sits on the shelves. If breakers were breaking retail, there wouldn't be any on the shelves. And you'd all, well, not you all, but people would be complaining, oh, breakers are taking all the product. No, you just didn't get up early enough to hustle. Because I'll tell you what happened. Breaker didn't go around all your targets and buy it, right? One kid, one individual, or a couple of them got up, they went out, they bought it. They were willing to spend the $25, $30 to flip the box for $30 or $40 to the breaker who sold it. You know, they made that hustle, right? And here's the kicker too. Somebody on the end of this whole transaction was willing to buy into that break to fuel the whole thing. And when those cards are ripped, those cards will get shipped. and many will end up with collectors. And the circle just continues, right? It's just even split on SSPs, retail, and hobby would even the field. I'm already upset. I'll be honest, Brandon. I don't like the fact that Topps mixes the distribution with retail. Like Panini's product, when Panini used to make Prism, Prism hits were only in Prism Hobby. You were never going to find a numbered card in the early Prism retail products unless it was Prism retail numbered only, right? He was saying like you didn't find one of the freaking numbered to, you never found a blue ice, cracked ice floating in a retail box. No one opened up a retail box and found a kaboom in them, right? They were very good at keeping those products firewall separate. Topps, in their hand, I don't think they've ever had that firewall. I think Topps has always allowed that product to be distributed on a mix so that there is a potential that a one of one or a very valuable card could end up into a retail product. That's been a Topps thing. It's actually not something I like by Topps. I'm not a fan of that. But now that we're looking forward, I kind of like it a lot more. I think what Topps is doing with that actually is better. It makes it retail. Like, for example, Chrome V Friends was better in the retail than it was in the hobby. And oops, I got to get out of here soon. And Marvel retail was better than Marvel hobby in many ways because you got some number cards in there, but you also got those lava cards, 4 lava cards, and you got other shiny stuff in there. So anyway, that was my alarm. I got to get ready for a meeting. My view of breakers are they're starting to change due to how the prices of the hobby boxes can use. Here's what I'd say about breakers, collector, Carolina collector. There are great breakers. If you want access to product and you can't get access to product, find some friends and go break product together, right? And then you become a breaker ultimately. That's how most of this starts, right? It's like, hey man, I can't get a product, but you like this team, you like team. You guys want to share a box? Let's share a box. You're gonna take that team, that team. What do we do with those teams? Let's random them off. Let's just we could sell those teams. Okay, let's sell the teams. That's how breaking starts. There's nothing wrong with breaking. Breaking is pure. And if you don't like the idiots who are overpaying for breaks, if you watch a break, go, man, that guy just spent $5,000 for a spot. Then don't watch it. Don't participate. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, why the hell would some idiot do that? Now, I can also explain to you why they do that. If you have more understanding, maybe that guy was watching a full case break and this is the last hobby box and there's been no case hits. And, the odds are that the case hit is in that box. So therefore, there's a higher value on those teams. So there are reasons people do weird stuff in breaking. I think the value in retail product. Maybe if a retail had off check. Well, it's funny you say this. So Brandon, they do. I think Panini did a good job of that. Back when they made the basketball product, they made retail exclusive hits in that, right? That's why I love Panini Prism Monopoly. It's retail exclusive. It's only on that product. I think Topps did that too with some products as well. I know, like I said, V Friends did it with their retail products. You are seeing more of that. The Chrome Disney, there are retail exclusives only in the jump and the mega box and the value boxes that you cannot get in hobby. See, I have dibs on the Yankees. See, you'd have, and that's the thing too, right? If you had that, you'd have a guy. In fact, here's something I've talked about before. I'd like to create a collectors club, and you can call it an investors club, and call it a hobbyist club, where basically you get subscriptions. Okay, I'm going to get one case of every top, baseball product next year. Let's pre-sell those teams now. So some guy would buy the Yankees in every product, right? Some guy would buy the Rangers in every product for that year. Somebody buy whatever, and whatever teams are not there, you could sell during the season. Right? But you could buy into that fund all across the season. I have the Yankees for the entire run, one Yankees in the entire case. I think that's awesome, right? You're sharing that cost. If everybody could do that up front, it's kind of like fantasy football, by the way. Then the guy can go out and buy. He can allocate, hey, I'm going to get one case of every product. And I'll tell you this too. Think about this, Topps. If you're listening, you could do this as a subscription system, right? Set it up so, hey, buyers clubs. If you guys would like to commit to buying 1 or 2 cases directly from Topps, here's how you do it. And I put some limitations, whether it's shipping or distribution, right? So, because ultimately it is breaking, but it's breaking direct. It's club breaking, maybe club membership type of thing. Montgomery breakers, maybe Montgomery club breakers. Anyway, guys, I got to really get ready. Peace out. And it's so funny. I'll just say this real quickly. I used to be Chicken Little. I recognize that.